So what the heck is an SEP and why is it important to you? Let's dive in and find out. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Wesley and I make content about Medicare. I like to keep things short and simple so a fifth grader can understand it. And most importantly, I like to just get directly to the point. So let's dive in. So SEP stands for Special Election Period or Special Enrollment Period. The two are kind of interchangeable. The reason it's important for Medicare Advantage beneficiaries to know this and understand this is because this can be advantageous for them if they want to change plans sometime in the middle of the year. But let's say something happens to you life-wise, big event, or let's just say you're unhappy with your plan and it's the middle of the summer, it's June and July. Well, does that mean you have to be stuck in that same plan until an open enrollment comes around? Not necessarily. This is where an SEP comes in. And if you qualify for the many SEPs out there, you only have to qualify for one. You can change your plan in June for a start date in the following month in July. Same thing goes for July, August, whatever the month is. It just takes place the following month on the first of the month. Now, there's a ton of qualifying life events that may make you eligible for an SEP, but I'm not going to go into every single one of them because that would just be long and boring and even more confusing. But I am going to just list a few of them here, and then we'll dive deeper into even less, like a couple of those afterwards. So here's just a few of the SEPs that are frequently used. If you lose health coverage due to job loss, or if you were fired or laid off or divorced. If you move to another county or even another state, that qualifies for an SEP. Gaining U.S. citizenship or legal residency is an SEP. Getting married is a life event that triggers an SEP. A FEMA disaster in your area triggers an SEP. It's a long list of other things that you can qualify for as far as a special election period goes. However, you can get that list. I am putting a link in the description, so check that out. And that list is provided by MedicareInteractive.org. So thank you to those guys. So let's just jump into a few of these SEPs and how they work. But before we do, let me just mention that it wouldn't be Medicare if this part didn't get a little confusing. And I say that because each SEP has its own qualifying criteria that must be met, and they each have their own different timeline of when you can use that SEP. It's Medicare, so of course it's a bit confusing. Let's say you moved from one county to another. So let's say you moved out of Los Angeles County and you moved to San Diego County. Well, that would trigger a SEP for you. And in that case, you have to update your plan with your carrier, your Medicare Advantage plan with your carrier. And then when you do that, the counties may be very similar in the same type of Medicare Advantage plans, or they may not, just depends on where you live. But you do have to update with your carrier, let them know that you moved, and when you do that, that triggers an SEP for you. So at that time, you can change into a different plan if that's what you want to do, and even change into a different carrier. And the time frame you have for this to do it when you move is 2 months. Now, it's not going to be the same time frame for all the other SEPs, but as far as this move goes, you have 2 months to make this plan happen if that's what you wish to do. Now, let's just say that you had an employer coverage and you lost employer coverage for whatever reason. Well, this triggers an SEP for you, but on the opposite end, you now have 8 months to get a new Medicare plan. So this is, like I said, where it becomes confusing because the timelines and the time frames are literally different for almost every single one of these SEPs. So 8 months from the moment you lose employer coverage to change or switch into a new Medicare Advantage plan. Like I said before, I'm not going to go into every possible SEP scenario because that would be very long, very tedious, very boring, and just very confusing. However, I am going to go into a little bit deeper with two of the most I see and the two that I use the most here in Southern California. And the first one is FEMA. Now, what FEMA is essentially when it's a federal declared emergency. And if you live in an area that is affected by federally declared emergency, things like a tornado, a hurricane, or if you're in Southern California like I am, drought, then you can use FEMA as your election period to move into a different Medicare Advantage plan. So because we live in Southern California, we actually have droughts pretty much all the time, which means we have a special election period pretty much all the time. The special election period time frame for a drought is ongoing, meaning until they actually put an end date on it, you can use this special election period anytime throughout the year. You can use it in the summer, June and July. You can use it in April and May. You can use it in September and August. If you want to change your Medicare Advantage plan, this is a common one to use to switch into a new plan. So if you're not in California, then your state is going to definitely have different SEPs, and you should be aware of what those are. I know just off the top of my head that those affected by Hurricane Ian had an SEP for a short period of time where they were able to change into different Medicare Advantage plans because the hurricane affected their ability to do so when it was happening. It's not something that we could use in California. We have our own set of FEMA SEPs. However, wherever you live, I'm sure there is some sort of declared emergency out there at any given time that can be used to your advantage to move into a Medicare Advantage plan if that is what you want to do. So another common SEP used is for those who are dually eligible. This means that you have Medicaid and Medicare. In California, we call Medicaid Medi-Cal. So if you have Medi-Cal and Medicare, most likely you you are a dual, and that means you have a special election period almost the entire year. In fact, you can maintain your dually eligible status every 3 months if you wanted to change into a different Medicare Advantage plan. Now, that's not recommended. Of course, we want to find you the best plan and we want you to stay in it as long as you possibly can, as long as it's offering the service and the quality of care that you need. But you do have the option, to move every 3 months if that is something you wanted to do and you're a dual. If you're watching and live in Southern California and you want assistance with this, definitely find me on my website. Let's connect and I can help you and answer some specific questions about your plan. Before I wrap this up, if you found value, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to turn on notification bells so you'll get updated every time I release a new video. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to see me on other platforms, as well as to find links to the resources mentioned in this video. And lastly, be sure to get your copy of my book, which is available via Amazon, which goes over 15 actionable steps to cut your rising prescription costs when you have Medicare. Stay on the lookout because this will also soon be released via Audible, and I'm in the process of creating more books in the Medicare niche to bring you guys simplified content to help provide even more value. Now, to sum it up, guys, we went over what an SEP is, how we can use them, and the time frames that we need to be aware of for each particular SEP. Most importantly, the reason you need to know this and the reason you need to care is because these can be used to your advantage if you feel that you need a Medicare Advantage plan change or you're just not happy with your current situation. You can now know that you can use an SEP to switch into a different Medicare Advantage plan, one that is a better fit, one that's better suited for you, and you don't feel like you're stuck for the remainder of the calendar year. And that is it, guys. If you like this video, be sure to check out a few of my other pieces of content on Medicare, and I'll see you guys in the next one.